Sarah Sue Morbitzer will get this first set of the best of 5 underway, and away we go on this Friday. They blocked in front to look there at Mia Tumen. Going back outside, and Emily Londot gets the Buckeyes on the board as we check out the keys of this matchup.
Well, for Penn State, it's all about blocking. They've got to find a way to stop Londot, spreading the offense out. We talked about all the weapons that are available to Pedraza. She's got to be able to use those. For Ohio State, it's serving, create points from tough situations, and defense.
Yeah, Penn State coming off a season best of 14 service aces, and a great start here for the Buckeyes, up 2-0.
We see why Londot is so good on the outside, really giving Penn State some difficulty in these first 2 points.
Yeah, Londot in a bounce-back mindset as well. Limited to 9 kills against Minnesota on Saturday. It snapped a streak as she had put together quite a few double-figure kill performances in a row prior to that 9 kills showing at Minnesota. 2 men on the set through the middle. Gonna touch there with Zaria Ragler filling in nicely for Riley Rader, once again out with injury. And through the block, the point here for Ragler.
And Ragler doing a really nice job recognizing the blocks in front of her and taking a little bit of the pressure away from Londot on the outside. Obviously, Penn State focusing on Londot, trying to get some block touches.
Already a 3-0 lead for the Buckeyes. As Penn State trying to get that side out. That was Jess Merzick on this near side. With Cameron Hanna. Before it could happen, a violation here against the Nittany Lions.
Pedraza trying to go up with the set, and she's telling the up official right now that she was trying to set. Technically, if the setter is back row and she's trying to set, she has an opportunity to do that, but the up official saying it was past the plane of the net, therefore Ohio State ball. Ryan
Hemmelgarn along with Brett Myers, the 2 referees, with Tim Boyer and Robert Fenn, the 2 line judges, and finally the Nittany Lions get that side out. Right now down 4-1. See Cameron Hanna, she sports jersey number 8, a transfer from Clemson to this Penn State team, benefiting in a big way during the offseason, bringing in some impact transfers. Off that serve from Jillian Grimes, long, and a point here for the Buckeyes.
Penn State needing to capitalize on the points that are given to them, just being able to get that serve in and create some opening here for Ohio State to close that gap.
For the Buckeyes, you have Mia Tumen, a freshman from the state of Pennsylvania. Trying to fish it out of the netting, just doing that as Pedraza. Tumen tipped down over, was deflected. That for Londot. Londot on the swing, able to come through with her 3rd kill already.
Look at the transition that Londot is able to do. Makes a defensive move, picks up the tip, then transitions out against the double block, cross-court shot.
Emily Londot, as many as 30 kills in the matchup this season, which came at Illinois on the 15th of November. Pedraza swung over with Holland through the middle, and a point here for the Nittany Lions.
Lions being able to create some type of points to get them going. That's going to be really important now for their serving to really put some pressure and make it a little more predictable on where it's going, which likely is out to the outside.
Mentioned on Wednesday, this Nittany Lions team, a season best 14 service aces. It was their 3rd 10-plus service ace performance. Don Forfo, a spirited start for the Buckeyes. 2 men now on this right side. Londot again. No matter it's the outside, right side, finding ways to make an impact. That's 4 kills off 5 attempts.
Yeah, Londot, Emily Londot on the right side. We've seen her on the outside this time, transitioning out right down the line. The Lions taking that cross-court shot because that's where she normally swings, but given any space, Londot can hit it.
Now she's beyond the service line. Had a double-double last time these teams got together. Coming through did Londot with 16 kills, 12 digs. Off the swing by Cameron Hanna. The side out for the Nittany Lions.
Cameron Hanna had a great performance earlier this week. See the split block of Ohio State. If they're going to stop Cameron Hanna, they've got to be able to close the block.
That's the direction the Nittany Lions are headed with Cameron Hanna. So far, no swings for Jess Merzick, the transfer from Michigan, but that's that 1-2 combo when it comes to the Penn State attack. There's a look at Merzick, and she delivers out of the reach of Sarah Sue Merbitzer.
Well, Merzick getting the kill off of the free ball from Ohio State, but Cameron Hanna really creating that situation with the tough serve and making it difficult for the Buckeyes to pass.
Hanna had 5 service aces on Wednesday. Her best here this season. Merzick over the block, out of the back with 2 men. Here in the nets, pressure came the direction with Chelsea Thorpe on that far side for the Buckeyes, and Penn State back to within 2.
That's the pressure going against the outside, antenna to antenna. Penn State really focusing on the blocking piece.
Another lengthy but successful stint beyond the service line here for Cameron Hanna, the senior from Lansing, Illinois. 2 men. Thorpe off the Penn State touch, point for the Buckeyes.
Thorpe, a 6'3" strong outside, using the block off those high hands that the Nittany Lions are putting up.
Ball now in the hands of Zaria Ragler. She, like Thorpe, did not play in a single match a year ago, but it relied upon here down the stretch for the Buckeyes and their successes. Merzick off the dig, 2 men. In front, Merzick able to score the point for Penn State.
Merzick going up strong, recognizing the ball is coming over the net, creating an opportunity for a block hit.
Well, you're talking about picking your poison, though, from a defensive standpoint. Do you zone in on Merzick? Do you zone in on Hanna? A couple of 1,000-plus kill getters. On top of that, when need be, you also have Zoe Weatherington, who has over 1,000 kills to her career.
And that's why serving can become so important on that serve-receive side of being able to make it predictable on where the ball's going to go. At least being able to decipher whether or not the setter has 1 option, 2 options, or if it's a perfect pass, 3 options.
Here's Lauren Murphy, arguably the top server for the Buckeyes. At least 1 service ace in 9 consecutive matches. Late break there with Merzick. And Penn State out of the back. Along with their return. And the Buckeyes lead 10-6.
Penn State trying to take advantage of the back row attack, but just too far out.
And with Angelina Stark, the junior from Colorado Springs, Colorado. Again going that route. Sue Morbitzer going far side with Thorpe into the block. So Penn State with Taylor Trammell with a block assist.
Trammell being patient, waiting to go all the way outside and then setting up. Just perfect execution on the block.
Big strength for the Nittany Lions, number 2 in the Big Ten, 3rd in the entire nation in blocks. Holland, Trammell, along with even the setter, Pedraza, among the who's who when it comes to rejections. 2 men off the slide near side with Eloise Brandowie. Merzick dug out. Thorpe again in the block. And the combination there with Weatherington along with Trammell coming through with the Penn State rejection. They have recorded a couple of blocks here in this opening set.
That's 2 in a row for Trammell, getting over to the antenna. Again, being able to close the block and add that pressure to the outside antenna swing.
But the latest officially up to 3 blocks now for Penn State. They recorded a total of 7 of their sweep of Maryland on Wednesday. 1 to the back row, but Taylor Trammell able to score the point for Penn State.
Trammell right now just all over defending that net, whether it's been blocking or attacking, just really guarding and helping the Nittany Lions close this gap within 1.
Now Pedraza back to serve for the Nittany Lions. In this week's Big Ten Center of the Week for the 3rd time this season, 15th time now in her collegiate career. 2 men. Set goes out to Zoe Weatherington. Point here for the Buckeyes.
Look at this back and forth that we're seeing as this game gets a little bit closer. Both sides having their share of hitting errors. Penn State currently hitting 333. Excuse me, Ohio State hitting 333. Penn State hitting 167.
The set began with a 4-0 lead for the Buckeyes. And a service ace. As the Buckeyes open up a 12-9 opening set lead. Off the service ace by Sydney Taylor. In her junior season, limited to 8 matches a year ago after appearing at 21. At her freshman year. Big slam. Londot, she was ready.
The assist coming actually from the serve being so tough, and the response back, and Londot getting a free set to kill the ball.
And a timeout here for Penn State. What a start here for Emily Londot. 4 kills off 6 total attempts. That's right now the Buckeyes trying to knock off their first ranked opponent on their home court this season. This is their 5th opportunity. Off to a nice start up 13-9 following the Penn State timeout. Nittany Lions trying to respond. Merzick does just that.
Good response coming off of the timeout. The cross-court shot making it difficult to stop.
Merzick also looking to bounce back. She had 7 kills. On Wednesday, snapped a streak of 11 consecutive matches with 10 or more. Instead, it was Cameron Hanna who erupted with the 15 kills at 682 in that sweep. Good recovery as Brandewie sends it over for the Buckeyes. Londot right into the block with Trammell, also on that far side with Wetherington. And a double touch will go against Ohio State.
Yeah, in that play, you see Londot trying to get to the ball is just a little low to the net, but the Nittany Lions coming out, their side out percentage in this match so far, 42%, compared to Ohio State at 55. So defending this serve right now is really important.
Londot off the block.
Londot does what Londot does, and that is she gets kills, and that's exactly what we see in this play. Going to the outside, splitting the Penn State block, and then recognizing just a nice little tip over the block.
Second team All-American last year was Londot. For the second time in her career on top being an All-American honorable mention. Penn State gets the point. Cameron Hanna brings the Nittany Lions back within a couple.
That line, just all the power going straight down the line for the Lions.
Grimes set back up here with Tumen. Tumen again through the middle. See Grimes off that swing by Cameron Hanna. She has 3 kills already. Londot dug out there by Grimes. The swing again with Hanna. Tumen. Londot trying to beat the block. Cannot, and Penn State back to within 1.
This battle has really been on the outside to outside. We see the middles transitioning. Londot trying to get set up here, take advantage of the block, but just low penetration over by Penn State creates the stop. That was Allie Holland on the block.
And here's the challenge for the Buckeyes, trying to keep that consistency from start to finish. It's been an obstacle all season long. A lot of highs, a lot of lows throughout the course of this campaign. Off to a great start, but can they keep it going? Hanna and Penn State has tied things at 14.
We talked about Pedraza being able to control and quarterback that setting, and that's what we're seeing here with Cameron Hanna. She's adjusting the tempo of the set. It's quicker on the outside. A lot of times with Londot, you're seeing a nice higher set, but Cameron able to just kill the ball.
3 straight for Penn State. Londot ends that run.
There's a lot of power behind Emily Londot's swings, going cross court. Just because the Penn State knows it's going cross court, utilizing that block to set up, she finds a way to get the kills.
And you see some of the numbers for Emily Londot. What a career that she has been able to produce. This is her senior year, senior night coming up tomorrow night. Wetherington down the line, but but out of bounds.
That was a good decision by Perdaza to be able to go to the backside antenna. It's where it was open, but just a hitting error.
And now Tumadu was the Big Ten co-freshman of the week on the 6th of November with a long serve. And that will be service error number 1 against the Buckeyes, 2 so far against the Nittany Lions. Ohio State playing with a 1-point lead. Maddie Bilanovic spent time as the libero a year ago, now focusing as a defensive specialist with the latest Penn State service error.
Well, for Penn State, those service errors are really the difference in this match so far. Those 2 missed serves, and we're looking at 2 points in between the 2.
Chelsea Thorpe back into the Buckeyes lineup. Long dot serving. Pedraza for Hannah, out of bounds. Another attacking error here against Penn State, their 10th. I'll make that their 5th to go along with 9 kills.
Buckeyes are doing a really good job against Cameron Hannah, setting up the block, forcing that hitting error to the sharp cross court, making it look like that's available, but it's just too sharp to hit.
Great response here by the Buckeyes after Penn State able to come back and tie things at 14. On this right side, see Hannah around the block. You have Murphy on this near side. Through the middle that time with Ragler. Murphy, Ragler combined for the rejection.
Well, there was no fooling Murphy and Ragler where that ball was going. It was going out to Cameron Hannah. Notice the penetration over the net, how much space they take up.
That's an area the Buckeyes would love to see improve their blocking. They rank dead last right now in the Big Ten in that category. Outblocked 11-6 on Saturday. Sliding across. Holland coming through with a point.
The slide approach is so hard to catch up on a block. That's why you see so many middles going out to the right side of antenna, because they're going able to space and create that opening, and oftentimes blockers trying to catch up create that out of bounds block.
Allie Holland, one of the captains, a Hilliard, Ohio native. And nothing Tuma can do about that. Point here for Penn State.
The ace creating that opportunity for the Nittany Lions.
Saw a very successful stint behind the service line earlier from Cameron Hannah. Right now, the Nittany Lions down a couple. 2 men outside for Thorpe. With Hannah out of the back with a dig. Tipped over by Merzick. Thorpe getting a piece. Again off that slide, and again finding the same success with Allie Holland.
Mac Pedroza knows exactly what's going to work with Holland going behind on the slide. Notice how quickly she catches up, turns her body back to the cross court. It all happens very quickly.
So a timeout here for Ohio State. Their lead down to 1. It's 19-18 Buckeyes here. Penn State has scored 3 consecutive back to within 1 here in this opening set. And how about the play of Allie Holland, a first-team all-conference selection, all-region a year ago, and known for her blocking ability, but you can't forget about her ability to also deliver the kill, 4th in the team in that category.
Yeah, and tonight it's been about the slide approach, going behind the setter, being able to kill the ball against this tough Buckeye blocking team.
Merzick, dug out there with Sue Morbitzer. Thorpe, with Hannah out of the back. Merzick, the kill, tied at 19. In a set that has seen Penn State tied on a couple of different occasions, but they've yet to play with the lead.
Yeah, and right now with it 19-19, that crucial point at 20. The most perfect volleyball that a team should play is after point 20. So obviously both teams here are looking to put some more focus in these last 5 points.
Another successful stint for Hannah that comes to a close with that service error. So Ohio State strikes 21st. This Buckeye team 32-4 when they reach 21st.
Which is just amazing when you think about how well they do having that confidence of that first set versus if they lose the first set.
Absolutely. They've had their struggles. If they drop that opening set, they're 0-13 for the matchup. Want to start strong, but a service here ties things up at 20. That service error against Ragler is the second service error for the Buckeyes.
Both of those service errors increasing the side-out percentage for both teams. Penn State at 45%, the Buckeyes at 47.4%.
Holland, who has emerged here as this first set has progressed. He was in the back, but ready in front was Trammell. Londot and the Buckeyes out of bounds, and Penn State has their first lead of the opening set at 21-20.
Trammell on the block, being able to recognize that Londot out of the back row attack. That is something Ohio State is probably looking a little more offense from that back row to give another piece to the Lions focusing.
Thorpe. Out of the back was Stark. The swing Merzick into the Buckeyes block. On this near side, he had Brandawee picking up a block assist. Got some help from Lauren Murphy. Tied at 21.
Setting up that block, creating that opportunity again for the Buckeyes. As we exchange points here, blocking is going to be really important. Being able to end that point quickly.
3-2 right now. Penn State in blocks. Merzick off the block. Kept alive for a second by Londot on the pancake, but Penn State will get the point up 22-21.
Merzick being able to use the block of Ohio State and going up strong. We see often if players really not going as aggressive as they could in these last few points, and really it's good to see a player be aggressive.
Here's Pedraza. 2 men to Thorpe. Into the block. Back out there is Wetherington on that right side. Thorpe off a Penn State touch.
What about the dig from Morbitzer in the back row, creating that opportunity? Just a perfect dig. That came off quick from the Penn State block.
5th tie here in this opening set. Sydney Taylor. Pedraza. And Wetherington is out of bounds. And the Buckeyes go up 23-22.
This is the pressure the Buckeyes are putting against the Penn State, setting up that block, making the gamble that they want to be able to create those hitting errors.
I'm venturing to guess this is a Buckeyes team that was challenged this week after, again, they were swept.
Yeah, so this serve receive is going to be really important for Penn State. Can they respond to this positivity that Ohio State is flexing?
Penn State has won 9 consecutive sets. They have not dropped a set since the opener against Michigan State on the 17th of November, then bounced back to win sets 2, 3, and 4 for that match victory.
Well, something to note for Ohio State, Emily Londot is back in the front row. Earlier in this set, she was in the back row. Now their power is back in the front row defending.
And Taylor continues on the serve. That's going to go long. Tough time for a service error. The 3rd now for the Buckeyes, tied at 23. Tie number 6, Penn State looking for the 3rd lead change.
Cameron Hanna coming back into the front row for Penn State. So now it's a battle of the antenna.
Merzick. 2 men. Londot off the block. Well, back that route. Londot on by the diving Jillian Grimes.
Well, 2 men just having so much trust in Emily Londot on the outside. Emily goes after one, then goes again. 2nd transition and just powers past that block of Penn State for the kill.
Serving for set 1, Sarah Sue Morbitzer. Through the middle, Trammell tying things at 24.
Trammell one-on-one with this attack. Great set by Mac Prodaza. We know she is so good at running that offense.
No surprise here when these teams met last month. 35 ties, 11 lead changes throughout the 5-setter. Londot Off the top tape. That flies out, and Penn State now with a chance to steal it. As the Buckeyes take their final timeout. This is Buckeyes volleyball to a T. Riding the waves of the highs and the lows. And right now, their backs are against the wall for the first time, with Penn State serving for set number 1.
Yeah, and if you're Penn State, you're looking serve receive will really set the tone.
Buckeyes have lost their last 3 consecutive opening sets. Jillian Grimes trying to end it for Penn State. 2 men. Londat on the tip. There's Hannah. Great effort. And Sarah Sue Morbitz her long behind the back return. Great hustle. Hannah out of bounds, point Buckeyes.
Wow, the Buckeyes using every bit of the gym floor that they have to keep that ball alive, and then playing great defense, setting up the block, keep Hannah from being able to get that kill, laying it all out. So we see the Buckeyes score the point.
What hustle by Anna McClure, the sophomore defensive specialist from Champaign, Illinois. Even at 25. Hannah on the tip. Long dot there. Off the right hand with Murphy. Hannah, that's down. And the Nittany Lions back up 26-25, serving for set 1.
Cameron Hannah is just such a weapon on the outside left antenna. Notice how little space she had to go down the line and just nails it.
Second time Penn State serving for set 1. On this right side with Londat. Grimes. Hannah. Penn State takes it. 27-25. What a
guys on the outside with their blocking, at least forcing some hitting errors or tips or something that puts the players a little out of their comfort zone.
Merzik getting this second set started here in Columbus. Londat, Merzik, and before that could happen, we have a net violation against Penn State. So contact with net may have been Pedraza. And the Buckeyes strike first. They, remember, in the opening set, jumped out to a 4-0 lead. Play with the lead. Penn State took their first lead eventually at 21-20.
Yeah, and being able to continue that through the whole match is what's the hardest thing to do.
Absolutely. Hannah gets the point right back here for Penn State. Mentioned that Cameron Hannah transferred from Clemson, where she was a second-team All-ACC selection in 2022. She was an All-American honorable mention in the spring of 2021. Quite the resume brought here to Penn State. She has been number 2 on this team, right behind Merzik as far as kills go. And Penn State now with a 2-1 advantage.
Cameron being able to talk to the setter, being aware of what the open spots are, where to send that ball at the end of the court.
Grimes with the service error. And for the Buckeyes, Londat right now in front. Dropping back will be Mia Tumen. Into the front row is Lauren Murphy, the freshman from Round Rock, Texas. Among 7 newcomers coming into the year for the Buckeyes, with 5 freshmen and a couple of transfers. 2 men. Pedraza over with Hannah scoring, well, nearly scoring the point. Buckeyes able to keep the attack alive, and they get the point over the reach there of Jess Merzik.
Watch Emily Londat as she reaches high for this ball, using the hands of Penn State and just the high touch, and that's how those high hand attacks create points.
Back to back here for the Buckeyes. Londat off the block. 3 straight for Ohio State.
Londat just able to use the block of Penn State, and that makes it so difficult to defend and frustrating if you're a blocker, because the ability to use those high hands, swipe to the left, use the block to the outside.
Mentioned blocking could be critical in this matchup. In that first set at 3-2 in favor of Penn State. Another point here for the Buckeyes. That makes 4 consecutive as they go up 5-2 in the serve. Continues here for Tumen.
Now, when we look at the keys and you look at, for Ohio State, serving was going to be crucial. They have to create opportunities to score points by making passing difficult.
Hannah on the cross-court kill. So following the service ace, a side out here for Penn State.
Cameron Hannah, when you watch her approach, notice how high she swings, and then just the fast pull through makes it so hard to defend.
Ball in the hands here of Maddie Bilanovic. On that, and the block ready on that left side. Holland was there. Hannah was there. And Penn State with their 4th block of the match.
Well, Holland and Hannah were both ready for Londot on the right side. She's in this rotation where she's going to hit right side unless she were for some reason to come in the middle. But she's more of a high right side antenna attack.
Holland, number 3 in the Big Ten in blocks. Londot with an attacking error.
Well, it looks like there might be some discussion here about whether there was any contact with the ball, touch. I think Londot thought it went off the head of a Penn State player. This could be interesting to see on this challenge. Reminder, each coach gets 2 challenge for the match. Unless it were to go 5, they pick up an additional challenge. They can challenge in, out. They can challenge whether or not a player was in the net. And it also replays can occur from a pancake being called in a match. So in this case, though, if the coach were to win this challenge, they keep the challenge. Otherwise, they would lose the challenge. So we'll get another look here. We're watching to see if it went off the head of Grimes. That was the question.
Again, as it sits right now, it's an attacking error against Londot. Right now, the score reflects 5-5 with 3 straight here for Penn State. Interesting to see if Grimes' hair comes into play at all as well, making contact with that ball.
Well, it's always interesting to see the views that we get from this, whether or not going off of the head of a player, this angle might be able to show us just a little bit more.
Touch in front.
And that's a good point too, Matt. If they determine that there's a touch off of this block by Penn State, then it would also be reversed. So anything in the play, yeah, so any type of call that could be determined from this challenge could potentially come into play.
And on top of that, was there a net violation? Apparently, all those options go by the wayside.
So that challenge will not stand.
See Jen Flynn Olenberg asking for the explanation. The 2001 Ohio State grad. So points stand, 5-5 our score here in set 2. 2 men, oh, right there in front. Holland ready for Penn State. Londot, that was dug out by Merzick. Hannah, that's gonna fly out of play off of Sarah Sue Morbitzer.
Cameron Hannah has been able to show whether or not she can go down the line, and she has that sharp cross shot that she uses often. That time just too much to handle for the Buckeyes.
Bilanovic. 2 men through the middle with Ragler. Ends the 4-0 Penn State run.
Well, it's good to see the Buckeyes getting the middles involved. That takes a lot of pressure off of the outsides, whether left antenna or right antenna. Seeing Ragler pick up the kill.
And she's making the most of her opportunity with Riley Rader lost to injury just prior to their matchup against Indiana back on the 4th of November. Ragler was thrown in and came through with a career best of 13 kills in her first opportunity against the Hoosiers, or at least her first extended opportunity with Ohio State. Grimes. Herzik beyond the right hand for Sarah Sue Morbitzer.
Herzik taking advantage of that back row attack. The front row really working hard in transition, but this is where the kill ends up coming from. Back row, nice little jot over the middle.
And now the serve here for Cameron Hanna, who did a nice job. A couple of different opportunities beyond the service line of that opening set. Thorpe, that's blasted out of play. Penn State, after the slow start again to this second set, have rebounded nicely to take an 8-6 lead.
This is where the Buckeyes needing a good serve receive pass, get their offense going on the outside, whether or not take advantage of the middle too, being able to get Ragler involved.
A little trickery coming from Pedraza. These fans had a front row seat to that over the last 4 years, as Pedraza gets the point here from Penn State.
Well, notice her hand, her right hand going up, blind to the left side, and just dumps the ball perfectly to the left back.
Plucked it off of Chelsea Thorpe. Thorpe. Pedraza. Merzik. Sarah Sue Morbitzer. And going across the way. That's going to go out for Lauren Murphy.
Well, and these additional hitting errors really forcing the arm of the Ohio Buckeyes to be able to take a timeout.
It's another 4-0 run here for Penn State. The Buckeyes, they're squeaking out a set one victory, 27-25. And again, Cameron Hanna having a great deal of success beyond the service line.
Her serve's got a lot of power with that float serve, and they're obviously looking to create that disruption with Emily Landau in the back.
Herzik dug out by Sarah Sue Morbitzer. Block was ready. You had Landau out of the back.
Allie Holland being patient, recognizing the back row attack coming from Emily Landau, and then going up to the back row block.
Holland, who has been the top blocker the last couple of years for Penn State. Couple of blocks now in this second set. Thorpe, block ready again, this time involving Pedraza on this right side. Battle of strength net, and Hanna adjusting. Two men off the fingertips of Ragler. Landau, nice dig. That with Vilanovic. Hanna, a little more zip. Landau, Murphy, and again the block ready off that swing by Lauren Murphy.
Allie Holland really setting the tone here these last 4 points with the blocking scheme, being patient, watching where the ball's going out here to the right side attempt. Notice the press over on the net.
6 consecutive points here for Penn State. They have doubled up the Buckeyes here in set 2. Nittany Lions done a great job sucking the energy out of the building. Another point added. Holland on the kill following the assist from Pedraza.
Total control of the net right now for Penn State. Just being patient, watching where the ball's going, and then taking advantage when the opportunity comes.
Boy, this place was rocking and rolling not too long ago, but it has gone quiet as Penn State has scored 7 consecutive. Ragler trying to change that, but Holland again right there in front for Penn State. Just her presence and a 4-hit violation against the Buckeyes.
Looking at the Buckeyes right now, hitting percentage negative .143. So obviously frustration coming from the blocking scheme of Penn State, creating and forcing those errors.
Feels like Hannah's been behind that service line for a good while now, and she has been here in this second set. Ragler out of bounds.
The tough serving by Hanna, and then the blocking scheme. The hitters for the Buckeyes trying to get into some rhythm. They're getting a pass up, but it's just the hitting errors, just a little too long or just not enough power.
9 consecutive Penn State points. Trying to add to it, and they will as Murphy runs out of real estate. It's a 16-6 Penn State lead. At one point they were down 5-2. Timeout for the Buckeyes as the Nittany Lions with a 10-0 run. And they have scored by the Nittany Lions, including 14 the last 15. Ohio State out of timeouts. Cameron Hanna. Two men. Thorpe. Holland through the middle. That stays with the Buckeyes. Another forehead violation. Cannot catch a break. And the run continues here for Penn State.
Yeah, it's the serving, and the Buckeyes almost right there, being able to take the ball over, even if it's a free ball, creating an opportunity for Penn State to have to play some defense.
(17-6) Nittany Lions. Thorpe. And she'll blast that one out of bounds.
You look at the serve receive right now for Ohio State. They're clearly picking and wanting Wanda to have to pass the ball, but this time this hit outside by Thorpe is just too long.
Has got the feel of Saturday all over again for the Buckeyes. That second set they lost 25-9, and things went south. Battle at the net. And the 12-0 Penn State run.
Well, kind of talked about Tumen trying to make the set. She's back row, so anytime she's trying to attempt to set the ball, as long as she's setting, it is not considered a back row block or back row tag. But in this case, the ball still was on Ohio State's side, so that's why that call stood.
So a 12-0 run for Katie Schumacher-Cawley's team. Scoring 16 of the last 17, part of that Penn State violation. And the point right back with the Nittany Lions thanks to Pedraza.
Pedraza well aware of what's going on up in the front row. Easy side out, take the dump.
Earned her time with Ohio State, 112 matches played, 4,001 assists, a 3-time All-American, a 3-time All-Region selection, and a 3-time first-team All-Big Ten honoree. In her time with the Buckeyes. Now fitting that her Big Ten portion of her career comes to a close right back where it started here in Columbus.
That's exactly what she said when she was asked about coming back. She was excited that her end of her conference career was ending at this place that she started. She considered home for so many years.
Serve here with the Buckeyes. Down 11, trying to gain some momentum going forward. But to string some points together after they got out to a nice start for a second consecutive set. That gets the job done for Mia Tumen.
Tumen taking the playbook right out of Perdoza on that attack dump from the front row.
She came out having to fill that void with Pedraza leaving, and for Tumen, Gatorade Player of the Year in the state of Pennsylvania on a couple of different occasions. Won 4 consecutive state championships with her prep team, bringing that winning pedigree. Merzik. For Tumen, also a 3-time MVP of those championship matchups.
I see the nice rollover tip right down the middle of Ohio State defense, and that's where the game has really changed in this second set, is the defense being able to create opportunities for the hitters and the hitters not being able to execute and create the kill.
This time it's Penn State who hits 21st. Tumen out there with Sydney Taylor. And the point here for Ohio State.
Something to note about Sydney Taylor, she's listed as a DS. She's 5'9". She went in for Thorpe on the outside. We saw a couple of hitting errors, and now this time getting some kills. Keep an eye on that with Thorpe right now over on the sideline.
Point right back thanks to Jess Merzick. There have been some lineup changes here for the Buckeyes. We mentioned, at least throughout the course of this year, with Riley Rader, that's a big blow. You lose All-American, middle blocker, and Zaria Ragler has filled that void. Sarah Sue Morbitzer has taken over the libero responsibilities after an injury to Caitlin Hoffman. Anna McClure has been thrown into the defensive specialist role with some players moving spots. Point here for the Buckeyes off that swing by Zoe Wetherington. So this is a Buckeyes team that's had to adapt as the season's gone on.
Yeah, and for that one rotation till Londot got in the front rows, we watched Londot one-on-one block straight down, reaching back to the middle of the court.
Pedraza runs it down. Hannah spotted right back, and that's a point for Ragler.
These are crucial points right now for the Buckeyes. A little bit of momentum. Piecing together 1 or 2 points can go a long way in having to make up from that 9-point run by Penn State. But they've been able to do it along the net. Started with the blocking. This time another block attempt.
Hannah on the swing. Man, she's dangerous when you get her, give her that opportunity to get that full swing in. Look out.
Yeah, it is a fast swing. And the reach is so high.
And Cameron Hannah now with a 10-kill performance. This being her 17th double-figure kill showing. An attacking error against the Buckeyes.
Londot saw the line that was available, just a little too much across her body that the line shot goes out.
Grimes. 2 men. Grimes there. Pedraza sets up Merzick. Londot runs out of room. And the Nittany Lions are serving for set number 2.
Penn State has been able to utilize all the weapons, whether or not it's been out of the back row, front row, really taking advantage of each place along this net to attack from.
Londot. Grimes. And Cameron Hannah ends it 25-12. What a statement in set number 2 by the Nittany Lions, who at one point enjoyed a 12-0 run. And they take it 25-12.
Crazy energy inside here. I love the lighting and everything. They're ready.
And how about that start for set 3? A service ace served up by Sydney Taylor.
And we've seen this going into the 3rd set where Ohio State starts off really strong. It's whether or not they can maintain it throughout the set, that focus that's needed all the way to point 25.
Again, Penn State did a great job in that last set. There's back-to-back service aces for Sydney Taylor. But we saw in that second set, Penn State was able to suck the energy out of this building.
Yeah, look at this serve, though. It is just this dominant float serve. It goes all the way to the end line and just drops. It really creates confusion on whether or not that ball is going to be in or out.
Taylor now with 3 aces on the night. Hannah gets the side out. She has 12 kills. Londot has 11 to lead the Buckeyes.
Well, Grimes needing to take that serve receive to get the ball out to Hannah for the kill.
Jillian Grimes. 2 men. Londot. Grimes. Hannah. That was off of Anna McClure.
The thing about Hannah, when she goes to swing, her body posture reaching up so high, you don't really know where it's going to go. This time, catching surprise by the Buckeyes down the line.
That's going to go long. Great communication there by the Buckeyes. McClure got out of the way this time. She comes from a very athletic family. Her mom played volleyball at Illinois, was all Big Ten. Her dad played in the major leagues with San Diego and Detroit. After he played his college baseball at Illinois, was an All-American and All-Big Ten with the Fighting Illini. Hannah. Londot. That's down the line and good for a kill.
Emily Londa going down the line, taking her own shot, really utilizing just the little bit of room that they got. See how close Penn State is moved into that ball. Emily taking a step towards and then going to the line.
This for Londa, her 25th double-figure kill performance of the year, but Holland gets the point right back. Londa also with 10-plus kills, 9 of the last 10, but watch this finish by Holland off the setup by Pedraza.
Yeah, and taking a good advantage of the right back side of the court for Ohio State.
Vilanovic. 2 men. Londat. Again, over the block. Cameron Hanna into the Buckeyes block. Hanna going to the back, testing Sarah Sue Morbitzer. Londat. Hanna. Good dig by Sue Morbitzer. Londat off Grimes. From the back, tipped over by Merzick. And the point for Penn State.
Possibly the longest rally we've seen of this match so far. Being able to use the back row to create the confusion, lead to the kill for Penn State.
All
Perfect.
even at 4 points. Second tie in this set. 14th tie with 6 lead changes in the match. And getting Ragler involved, but out of bounds.
And that has worked really well for the Buckeyes, getting Ragler involved, that middle transition, but in this case, the hitting error leading to the Penn State point.
3 straight for Penn State. Ragler making sure this run doesn't go beyond what we saw in that second set. Gets the side out.
Well, good adjustment by Ragler. The first one we saw went to the left back of the court. This time, changing that block direction to go to the right back of the court.
And now Mia 2 men beyond the service line. Mentioned she got an early start to her collegiate career, enrolling at Ohio State in the spring for the spring semester. Getting that jump start. It's paid off in a big way. Point here for Lauren Murphy.
Lauren Murphy taking advantage of her 6'4" stature, freshman on the right side.
Love the energy you see it every match from the sideline from Jen Flint-Oldenburg, the Buckeyes head coach. Getting her steps in up and down that sideline, trying to fire up the team even when the energy may be lacking in a venue. Trying to keep her team focused.
We saw at set 2 how quickly that momentum can dissipate and not be able to just get back out of it. So this set 3 is really crucial for the Buckeyes.
Cameron Hanna, who was behind the service line for that lengthy 12-0 run. Out of bounds, no touch. Penn State leads 7-6. We've seen Hanna get it done when it comes to the kill. We've seen it also when it comes to the aces, the digs, and the blocks.
Yeah, the blocking, being able to force a hitter out of their comfort zone and hitting that ball out, trying to do something that they're just not used to.
A service error against Hanna. 7th service error against Penn State. And she'll get a breather. Londat will serve for the Buckeyes. Londat with 12 kills, 4 digs, and a block thus far. Merzick. 2 men. Keeping on the right side with Murphy, but her cross-court kill goes out of bounds.
You can see the Buckeyes trying to go to the right side of the antenna, trying to open up some type of momentum for them, but right now it's just been Penn State in that block being able to create those errors.
Trammell back into the front row for Penn State, back for her second season with the Nittany Lions after transferring in from Purdue. 2 men. Thorpe also back in for the Buckeyes. In front there with Ragler.
Ragler keeping the Buckeyes in positive hitting percentage so far back to 0, and that's come from Ragler with picking up her 5th kill.
Meanwhile, the Nittany Lions hitting .266, just above their typical season average at .252, which is 3rd best in the Big Ten. Now an opportunity here for Zaria Ragler beyond the service line. Merzik reaching back. Great upper body strength from Jess Merzik. And Penn State adds another.
The Merzik was falling back. That ball, she hadn't quite transitioned all the way back past the 10-foot line. And just a quick snap being able to get the kill.
That kill gives her 11 for the matchup. 25 double-figure kill performances now for Merzik. A service error against Penn State.
Now we're seeing this back and forth between the teams. The side-out percentage really coming into factor here. Is look at 55% by Penn State, 41 for the Buckeyes.
Sydney Taylor at one point at back-to-back service aces. There's Wetherington. Thorpe. And again, guess who? Trammell and Wetherington on that right side for the block.
Trammell being able to move along the net laterally. She's so good at closing the block. Watch number 1 get there, press back over. Domination.
That's 199 total blocks in 2 seasons so far for Trammell with the Nittany Lions. They go up 10-9. Merzik. 2 men back out there is Brandewee, sports jersey 31. Thorpe. Grimes. And swung over there by Hannah. Penn State goes up 11-9.
Well, these 2 pieces runs, these 2 points in a row, that is really where we've seen Penn State start to take off. Hannah going right down the line again. They have not, Ohio State has really struggled with that line coverage and being able to stop Hannah.
Merzik. Again, getting the setup for Brandewee. Able to score the point for the Buckeyes.
Well, Brandewee just responding back to Hannah on the left side, trying to defend this. Notice she takes advantage of the line this time on the right side, going to her right shoulder.
Brandewee, one of the 5 freshmen brought in by the Buckeyes by Coach Jen Flint-Oldenburg. Was the Ohio Gatorade Player of the Year her senior season. She's from here in Columbus. And the Buckeyes string back-to-back side things at 11.
Sydney Taylor, she has a good float serve. It's one that causes drops a lot, has lots of movement.
What goes along with this serve, as she's recorded 3 out of the team's 5 aces. Make it 4 out of the team's 5 now. The other for Mia Tumen. Look there at Pedraza, has come through with a double-double already with 27 assists and 13 digs in a return to Columbus. Londat, out of bounds. That's her 9th attacking error.
You see Allie Holland there in the front row, number 20, working to close that block against Emily Londat, and that's the forcing of the error, getting there, having that presence.
2 men, Londat, off Grimes.
That time Penn State giving all the cross court to Londat, and she took advantage of it, just clearly seeing that cross court shot. That's where she has the most power, is that cross court shot.
Serve now for Sarah Sue Morbitzer. Pedraza to Hannah. What a luxury. If you're Mac Pedraza, you have so many different ways you can go with that set with the same result.
Yeah, you have Holland in the front row. You have Cameron on the outside. And just the ability to confuse the block. That's where you see a lot of the options created.
So much experience up and down this Penn State lineup. As Tubman went to send it over with a net violation against Ohio State. Gonna say a double hit here against Ohio State.
Well, the ball has to come clean out of the hands. In that case, they're going to say it wasn't even enough.
15-12, Nittany Lions lead. Londot. Grimes keeping it alive. Hannah out of bounds.
See the energy coming up a little bit more in here as far as they're staying to Penn State right now. First set got a little bit away. Second set was a little too much. Ohio State now really putting some pressure on Penn State.
Here in a third set that has seen the Buckeyes hitting 000, Penn State hitting 400 in this set alone. Along with the serve. A 3-point lead for Penn State. Been 8 ties and 3 lead changes in this third set.
Well, even though it feels like Ohio State has had a lot of missed serves, as we saw that last one, but really Penn State is the one that has missed 8 serves so far in this match.
Tubman, Londot, off Grimes. Merzik, off the block. Grimes can't get there. Also trying to get back in Maddie Bilanovic. And Londot will drop back the serve for the Buckeyes.
And Ragler coming in strong for the block to prevent any further damage by Penn State.
But again, can the Buckeyes keep it rolling? Can they string these points together and get across that finish line? Following the tip, Sarah Sue Morbitz are there. Ragler guides it.
Production from Ragler is going to be really important in this next few points because you have Londot in the back row. See the transition here. Ragler barely, just a little bit of a miss hit going over the block slightly to end up in that famous circle where balls are hard to defend.
Draza going to the outside. And Holland on that right side for the Nittany Lions has them back up 17-15. She's picked her spots tonight.
Holland getting ready to go back to serve. Watch this slide approach back to the right. Has ended up one-on-one against the Buckeyes.
Has come through with 7 kills. Her high this season is 9. Londot. Thorpe. That was off Bilanovic. And in front was Ragler.
Ragler really has been the story with Londot in the back row, being able to make plays, whether it's been blocking, hitting, pressing over.
Brandaway back out for the Buckeyes. Ragler. And getting Taylor Trammell involved.
A good response for Penn State. Now it's become the middles versus the middles. We've seen so much power on the right side, the outside by both of these teams. And now we're seeing those quick transitions open up in the middle.
Zoe Weatherington, her second season with Penn State after transferring from Utah. Back into the Nittany Lions front row. Her mom, the head coach at UNC Charlotte. And a service ace.
Little gritty celebration with the let serve, which have just become so difficult to respond to when those happen.
So Matt will get in, maybe 7. We'll have to wait and see, but gotta get that 10-11 mark in conference wins. Typically is a nice measuring stick. Right now in the Big Ten, you have 4 teams of the top 25 and other receiving votes in Minnesota. Penn State ranked 14th. They've been ranked 532 consecutive weeks. That dates back to the final poll in 1988. Thorpe. And the point here from Penn State.
I think this is going to be a challenge as Thorpe goes to swing, and they called it out. But there were some on the Ohio State side that believe that ball was in.
Yeah, Thorpe was celebrating. I want to realize it was ruled out of bounds. Think about that, though. When you look at all the volleyball polls throughout the last couple of decades plus, 532 consecutive have involved Penn State somewhere in the top 25.
Dynasty. It really is when you look at all the teams that have been there consistently, and to think 43 straight times is just remarkable.
They come in with 20 wins, 8 losses, 20 or more wins in 46 out of 48 seasons. The 2 times they didn't accomplish that feat, they played less than 20 matches. Inaugural season plus the COVID spring of 2021. Brutus having some fun here in Columbus. As again, the challenge takes place here. Feeling it was a touch from Penn State off that swing by Chelsea Thorpe. You be the judge.
Well, we're looking for contact, whether or not it was off of the block. Whether or not there was a touch that would have changed that, going off high. What we're looking for is notice a change of the ball as far as the spin, or if it goes over. Sometimes you can look at the fingers to see if there's any type of press over, the one finger versus multiple fingers getting a touch.
Did Trammell touch it? Yes. A successful challenge for the Buckeyes. So Chelsea Thorpe saying, wait a minute. I know that ball was tough. She was celebrating.
Well, they always say the hitter knows. And
yes.
That's part of it. But we've seen coaches, though, that really believe in their hitter, and we've seen the challenge get used and not be able to use anymore.
And now Murphy serving for the Buckeyes. They're back within a couple. Pedraza tipped over with Merzick. Eloise Brandewie back in front. And Penn State gets that point right back.
Such a great transition. Notice the one-on-one. Great selection. Go ahead and go middle. That creates that opening. Trammell just able to kill the ball perfectly.
20-17, Nittany Lions. Trying to take care of business, looking for what would be their 12th sweep of the year. Ohio State trying to avoid being swept for the 7th time. They get a point closer. That's off Grimes.
Thorpe that time not questioning whether or not that ball was in or out. She takes it all in control, going cross court right through the block. Grimes not able to dig it.
20-18 Nittany Lions. They took the first set 27-25 and then took the second set in convincing fashion 25-12. Hannah batted down by Sarah Sue Morbitzer.
Cardoza only having one option, which was Hannah on the outside. Based on the serve receive, the Ohio State see her one option out here. Hannah off the side. Nice kill.
That gives Cameron Hannah 16 kills, hitting .324. And again, the blocks it up on that right side, denying Emily Londat.
Weatherington and Holland able to team up on this. They're being patient, but that was all Holland on that block.
2 men. Londat off Grimes before it can happen, a whistle. And now we have the net violation against Penn State.
It's getting interesting now. Ohio State winning this point. We have the big hitters up in the front row. Londat on the outside for Ohio State. Cameron out on the left side for Penn State.
Holland out of bounds. And somehow that ball split a couple of Buckeyes. And Ohio State down 22-20.
Question whether or not to challenge this ball, but looks like a timeout has settled the Lions down.
So the Buckeyes.
Looks like maybe it has gone to review, and the challenge did actually get called after that timeout.
And you mentioned it. Certain coaches have a lot of confidence in their players and will ask the player, hey, either A, did you touch it, or do you feel it was a touch? Do I want to challenge? Should I challenge? And they go to the player and hope for an honest answer. Right now, if you're Penn State, feeling that Holland's kill made contact with a Buckeye after it split a couple of Ohio State players in that back.
Well, and you look at the points, 22-21. If Penn State were to lose this, it's 21. Okay, so Ohio State.
And stays as called. Worth a shot, though, if you're head coach Katie Schumacher-Cauley.
Here's the play they're looking at, whether or not any contact. You can see where the back row, and that was some of the confusion, is the line judge had originally called touch. He did change his mind, and he made sure that the up ref was aware of it.
Right back with Hannah. Long dot. Out of the back there with Jess Merzick. Weatherington making her presence be felt.
Well, we've seen antenna from Penn State and being able to utilize that right side attack. Weatherington being patient, going down, cross, split that block. Perfect timing in between the Buckeyes.
Now the Bucks era, Sue Orbitzer. But Weatherington, mentioned different options you can go to if you're Penn State.
Yeah, if you look at the set that Perdoza was able to deliver, and she is so good at her decision making, and then you look at the set, everything in motion was going to the left of the court. She decides to back set to the right.
Man, can you look up and down this Penn State roster? Weatherington with over 1,000 career kills. Cameron Hanna with over 1,000 career kills. Jess Merzick with over 1,000 career kills. Again, no matter who's out there, very little to no drop-off.
Yeah, and all the options Perdoza has to be able to deceive the block. And that's the thing, those players having 1,000 kills plus being able to be in the front row just makes her job so much easier.
23-20 Penn State. Buckeyes out of timeouts. In front, oh, not to be for Holland. Tooman there in front for the Buckeyes.
Tooman taking it upon herself with the overpass and being patient, waiting. And she was the second contact on that and being able to pick up the point.
And she'll drop behind the service line here as the Buckeyes hanging around here in a must-win third set. Hannah, that's going out without a touch. And the Buckeyes back to within one.
We can see where Penn State wants to take the ball. Cameron Hanna on the outside. Ohio State recognizing that. Tooman serving aggressively, creating that option, and being predictable on where the ball's going to go.
And Penn State will take their final timeout here in this third set. Different view of this. And again, avoiding the touch there in front with Murphy and Ragler.
That was great footage from the net cam, and obviously you mentioned avoiding the touch, but now it's been challenged on whether or not that ball was challenged. And you do watch Ohio State, you can see that we're looking at the finger movement. This is great angle of our producing crew being able to get this view for us as that ball goes over, and you have to wonder if there was any type of touch. As soon as that ball was hit, you see Penn State being able to signal the touch call.
You can see Ragler trying to sell it and say, no touch. And for the Buckeyes. And again, why not challenge in this situation?
This is a huge point to challenge. Penn State gets this point, it's 23-22, but if you can show that there was a touch.
Watch the hand there of Lauren Murphy. Then Ragler That right hand.
Yeah, Ragler's right hand is definitely a place where you would think there could have been a touch there.
It'd be amazing if she didn't make contact. Look at that angle.
Number 21, the right hand. Yeah, so this is essentially 4-set point. This would give Penn State if they win this challenge.
And note that their timeout's still intact. So they have one remaining. They just simply challenge that last point. And awaiting the verdict. No touch. No touch from Ragler. Or Murphy for that matter. As they celebrate here in Columbus.
Well, and different vantage points give you different looks, and this time, look at this point. No,
yeah,
there's no touch. Yeah, we were thinking Ragler might have touched that ball, but great camera action.
So it stays 23-22. Hannah. 2 men. Londot. Tied at 23.
Emily Londot, she's ready to take the big swings, and for Ohio State, that is right now going big swing cross court, reaching high, using the hands of Allie Holland.
3 straight for the Buckeyes, 9th tie here in this 3rd set. Hannah. 2 men at the net. Hannah there. Point Penn State. They're serving for the match.
We've seen Ohio State back on their heels before. Set 1, this is very similar. Can they get the serve receive, get the ball out to Emily Londot? We know that's where the ball is going to go.
Outfitting Cameron Hannah the way she has served has a chance to end this match. The setup. Merzick. Long run. Buckeyes won't get there. And Penn State pulls off the sweep. 27-25, 25-12, and 25-23 as a